Good evening, everybody. I'm S Lalitha from the New Indian Express. I'm here to help all of us make sense of the massive cancellations of over 2,500 Indigo flights since December 1st, and the huge way it has impacted the travel plans of over 2 lakh travelers across the country. Um, the issue is acute because Indigo holds 64% of the domestic market in the country, and the reasons, as is popularly believed, it does not date back just to December 1st. In fact, a few Indigo pilots, they met me 4 months ago, and they were highlighting the problems that they faced in the airline. Particularly, they were speaking about the personal stress they were experiencing because of the load of work on each one of them. They were also speaking about how much it impacts their family life. And another grouse with them was that since they were doing so much, putting in so much of hours at work, they deserve to be paid on par with the salaries of pilots internationally. And they said that a crisis is actually brewing, and many of the pilots are disgruntled, unhappy, and they are just waiting for a chance to leave Indigo. They also told me that something dramatic is set to happen in some time if the management continues to ignore the repeated mails and queries raised by the pilots as well as the cabin crew to them for quite some time. So probably the scenes that we saw the last 1 week, it could also be a culmination uh, of the hardships that the pilots felt that they experienced when working in the airline. You could also say that it could be a kind of arm twisting on the part of the pilots also. And this doesn't this also brings to light that Indigo also, if you look at it, has been arm twisting the Director General of Civil Aviation. In the interest of public safety, the DGCA had decided in March 2024 that the number of duty hours of pilots as well as cabin crew need to be reduced. They also felt that the number of landings which a pilot does, particularly during night times, they need to be reduced. Um, and they also wanted to ensure that these were the major changes. They also wanted to ensure that the weekly offs would not be combined with the rest period, which is mandatory for pilots. A key change is that they increase the rest hours per week from 36 to 48 hours for the pilots. So naturally, all the managements, airline managements, oppose them because they would have to hire, taken more workforce. And a senior airline official told me even then, that these rules cannot be implemented because there would be a major dent on the profit margins of the companies. So the airlines had been opposing. They kept taking time from the DGCA for very long, and finally by June 1st, they implemented one phase of these rules, and November 1st was the deadline to fully complete implementing them. And so Indigo also had to implement the rules which the DGC had asked them to do. So this also is a major reason for the huge shortage of pilots which their flights experienced across the country. This crunch ensured that many flights had to be grounded and could not take off at all. And another slight reason for it was that Emirates Airline was also conducting a road show, a walk-in kind of interview for cabin crew of all airlines. And of course, since many of them were unhappy at Indigo, they did make an attempt at those interviews. Um, Indigo official reason is operational disruptions and many other reasons, but finally they have now come out with the reality that they did face a severe crunch of pilots. And they also say that they had a shortage of 65 flight captains. Though 65 looks like a minor figure, as per international norms, the number of available pilots should be way beyond what is actually required to operate a flight. And as the DGCA has yesterday issued a show cause notice to Indigo CEO asking him to explained within 24 hours about the huge chaos that has been caused and the reasons why Indigo landed itself in such a mess, and also what are the remedial measures they are set to take. Situation is gradually improving. Indigo has, of course, started operating a huge chunk of its flights now. As of yesterday, they had operated 1,565, and by tonight, they are set to operate 1,650. But that still means that 800 flights were cancelled yesterday, and 650 would be cancelled today. The road to recovery is happening. The ministry also is assuring that it is on the way to recovery. And Indigo and the big advantage for Indigo is that they have made the DGCA roll back the rules, which is something which pilot associations were telling us right from the beginning, that this whole thing is being played out by Indigo because they do not want to implement these new rules which are called as flight duty limitation rules. And they had predicted way back. In fact, the pilot associations who are battling on behalf of the pilots had been pushing for these rules. They had even gone to court demanding that these rules be implemented by the airlines. And they repeatedly kept telling us, telling the media that these Indigo would never allow these rules to be implemented. So they have a lot of allegations and charges that the whole thing is being manipulated and played out by Indigo to make the regulator reverse its stand. So that's where we stand as of now. Thank you.